Hi guys, today we're going to be taking a look at the game Tiny Towns. Now in Tiny Towns, you're going to be using different resources to build different buildings, which in turn are going to score you points based on their different scoring conditions. So let's check it out. So in the game, I'm going to go ahead and show you that all the components you have here. You've got all these resource blocks over here, and then you have all these different types of buildings. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to be trying to construct this building on this little grid over here. You've got 7 different types of buildings, and you have a cottage. Now, what you're going to be doing in this game is you're going to be trying to build this combination in order to build these different buildings. Then it also has a scoring condition over here. This says 3 points if the building is fed. There are buildings in here that will feed the cottage, so if you're able to build those, this will go ahead and get enacted. So you've got 5 different types of resources. You've got brick, stone, wood, grain, and glass. And each of these cards are going to have a number of those combinations on there. Now for these, you're going to go ahead and flip over the card, and I'm just going to flip it over, and this is what you're going to be playing with in the game. Now, the instructions have a setup for beginners, but I'm going to just go ahead and turn these over just to kind of show you how the game works over here. Now, each of these cards are going to have a different scoring condition on here, so what you're going to be doing is you're going to be trying to get this combination on the board, and then after that, you'll remove the cubes and then build that building, and from there, you're going to try to build it in a way to where you're going to be able to score the most points with these conditions. Now, in the variant, you're going to have these cards, and you're going to lay 3 of these cards out like so, and then you're going to choose one of the resources. So let's just say I've got wood here, so let's just say I decide I'm going to pick wood. I'm going to stick this underneath the deck, and then I'm going to replace this. I'm going to go ahead and put a wood cube somewhere. Let's just say I put the wood cube over here. You'll also pick 2 of these monument cards, and you'll pick one and then put the other one aside. So let's just say I decide I'm going to pick this one. I'll put it right over here. So I've gone ahead and I picked the wood, so I'm going to go ahead and draw another card. And this time I've picked glass. So let's just say I want to try to build a feast hall here. So I'll put a glass cube over here. I'll set this under the pile, and I'll draw again. And I've drawn another glass cube. So I was trying to build this, but I drew a glass cube. Now I have these other 2 that I can choose from. Let's just say brick. All right, I'll choose a brick right over here. I have this building over here that I can try to build. So let's just say I decide I'm going to put the brick right here. That way I'll have a chance to build this if I need it. So I'll set that aside, put that under, and then I have drawn wheat now. So I'm looking at these 3, and I'm like, what can I do here? What can I do here? Well, actually, you know what I can do? I have stone. So what I can do is I can build a shed over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the stone here, and then I'm going to go ahead and place this gray token that'll represent the shed. So what I'll do is I'll remove these 2 tokens. So right now the shed says you can construct on any empty square in your town. Now normally you would just place this where the cubes are, but since I have that ability, I'm going to place it over here. So then what I'm going to do is since I played a stone, I'll discard that and put it under the deck, and then I'll draw another card. And now I've drawn a brick. I can probably build a greenhouse, so I'll just put this over here in case I might be able to use it. So now I've gone and gotten another wood. I have a glass that I can build over here. So let's just say I build the glass, and now I've gone and completed the cottage over here. So this one says 3 points if the building is fed. So I'm going to go ahead and remove these, and then I'm going to go ahead and place the cottage over there, which is going to be this blue building over here. Let's just say I place it right over here. Now the greenhouse is going to end up feeding the cottages. So let's just say at some point I was able to build this, and I was able to get a greenhouse in there. It says, please, 1 contiguous group of buildings anywhere in your town. So I'll go ahead and place this over here, and this is going to go ahead and feed the cottage, which in this case is going to give me 3 points. So then I'm going to go ahead and draw another card. And this is basically the way the game is going to go. You're going to be picking these resources. You're going to be placing these cubes over here in order to try to build these buildings. And then you're going to be using these different scoring conditions to try to score the most amount of points that you can in the game. Once you get to a place where you're not able to construct any more buildings, that's going to end the game. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and total up all your points using this sheet over here. An example of scoring, it says if this building is fed, that's 3 points. So I do have the cottage fed by this building, so that's going to be 3 points. And you'll just simply go through each of these buildings that have been built on your board and score the points that way. This is your skill levels that you'll achieve depending on how many points you get. So anyway, guys, that's Tiny Towns. Well, Tiny Towns definitely has a lot going for it. Number one, if you like trying to figure out where to put things to try to score the most points, you've got that as you're placing the resources. Another thing you have is as you're placing the resources, you're going to start running out of room. So then you might have to thought about taking some chances and trying to build another building. that some of the resource cubes that you've placed are actually going to end up getting used up, which is going to free up more space so you can try to build other buildings. Then on top of that, you've got all these different buildings that all have these different scoring conditions, some of which are symbiotic with each other. So yeah, great game, really great game. Now, one thing I forgot to mention is that each of the different building categories has uh, different cards in there. So you're going to have, like, say, three yellow building cards that are each going to have different buildings with different abilities. So you're going to be able to change up the game a lot in this. There's a lot of replayability for sure. Now, the solo mode is not that much different than the regular mode. In the regular mode, one of the players, whoever's turn it is going to call out a resource, and then everybody's going to play that resource. That's really the only difference between that and the solo mode. But I really like the solo mode. The solo mode is easy to learn. It's a lot of fun. It doesn't differ much from the two-player and more game. So you don't have a lot of a different learning curve you have to do between those things. But yeah, it's a great puzzle game. It's a great strategy game. It's a great game for anybody that likes those types of games for sure. And then trying to manipulate these buildings to try to get the best amount of points. Solid game, guys. So, guys, that's my review of Tiny Towns. We'll catch you later. Keep on gaming.